top that panel, except for our next guest. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your wings together for Misha Collins. I don't want to step on your toes and say that you don't have a good interpretation to what an angel looks like while flying, but you went with the chicken dance, and I thought maybe there's something more graceful, something more elegant. I mean,
I'm a flightless angel. A large, round, flightless angel.
So you're the penguin of the celestial world.
Yes.
Or chicken.
Or chicken.
Okay.
Chicken's not really fun. Misha, can I ask you a
Also
question?
kind of stupid like chickens, you know. Yes, please.
I mean, there are lots of people who want to ask questions, so real quick. Are you running for office?
Yes.
I'm here to tell you, with the choices we've got out there,
Yeah.
you'd have a good shot at winning.
Be careful what you wish for, Collins.
Yeah.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Misha Collins.
Okay. What a god. How is everybody today? There are a lot of people in this room. Oh my goodness. I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you for asking. One polite person in the entire. Everybody else, I'm great. I'm great. Who cares about you? So, I was just doing the chicken dance. My mother-in-law does the chicken dance, and it's like she does this thing where she gets her leg like this, and she goes like this, and I think she thinks it's like super funny, and that everyone thinks they're just gonna have a gut laugh when she does it. But for some reason, her comic timing when she's applying the chicken dance lip stuck on tooth move that she does is always off. And so you just look at her like, what's happening? What's happening? So I understand now what she feels like when I got up here and started dancing in front of the entire crowd like that. We just got some chickens at our house. We got 6 chickens. It was an impulse buy. And I was actually with the kids, and we were walking, and there's like, oh, they like to sometimes go into pet stores. And I've had this thing with my wife, like, where I'm like, you know, we should get a dog. And she says, fuck you. We travel too much. It would be a pain in the butt. It's hard enough having 2 small children. No animals in the house has been our agreement. She's pretty firm about it. Which is true, we really are traveling, like we're on a plane all the time. It doesn't make any sense. It would be stupid to do, and it would be mean to the animals. So we walked into the pet store, and I was like, I'll take 6 chickens. And we, actually this morning, this chicken dance just brought up a lot of stuff for me, and I want to get it out. I know that you guys are fans of Supernatural, and you want to talk about my chickens. And this morning we had a fight with chickens. It was really ugly. Yeah. Because I had come home, I'd been at a convention, and I was like, did anybody feed the chickens? She was like, no, didn't feed the chickens. And if they die, it's on you. And I was like, I can't believe them. I go up and I work hard, I come home, the chickens are dead. And then we tried to, after that emotional, obviously, altercation that we had, this morning she tried to, in a very mature way, bring it up again when everybody's, cooler heads were prevailing. just say, just as far as I wanted to be clear about the chicken thing, that it's just, did feel like you completely violated the trust of our marriage by buying those when we explicitly agreed that we weren't going to get any animals. I also bought fish. And I bought several fish. They all died. But I got replacements that also died. So anyway, we had a little argument about it, and then she didn't come to the panel. She was around. I don't think it's related, but is it related? Is it about the chickens that she's not here? It's possible. It's not that. So, great. Oh, yes, there they are. Those right there are Girl Scout cookies. So there was a young woman in my meet and greet who I assume is a Girl Scout who said, last weekend was super windy. She's not a Girl Scout. She has a Girl Scout. She runs a Girl Scout troop, which I assume is like basically a labor camp of some sort. And she said last weekend was really windy, and so it was so windy. It was like we had windstorms, and so we couldn't sell our Girl Scout cookies. So that was a bummer. And then now I, the Girl Scout troop leader, am here this weekend at the convention, and so sales are still going to drop off. And I was like, well, are the girls out there pounding the pavement right now? I guess I made it sound like she was a pimp just now, which may be a fair. And so she said, yeah, they're going to try it. I said, are you guys going to be able to sell your cookies? And she said, no way. And she strikes me as an optimistic person because she was wearing a Misha Collins pin. And so I said, well, I can sell your cookies for you. No problem. Just because you came to the convention doesn't mean you can't sell your cookies. And she said, really? Are you sure? And I said, yeah, guarantee it. And then she told me that she had 26 cases of cookies. And I had already furnished her with a verbal guarantee. So, where are you, troop leader? Okay, get your ass up here right now. You've got a lot of work to do. So, sales of these cookies will help fund your labor camp for the coming year. The gulag that you run. Do you have they're $4 a piece. Will you guys please just buy some, but not a piece, not per cookie. Although you guys should consider a price hike. You can have a premium line of Girl Scout cookies. These are now more valuable. So then creation staff were like, we're a little anxious about the fact that it sounds like you're just turning your entire panel into a Girl Scout cookie selling thing. I was like, no, that's not a problem. They were also, because it's Washington, we have to individually inspect all the boxes to make sure that they're not pot cookies. So this represents a lot of people being really annoyed at me right here. That is a physical manifestation of me being irritating. Can I, by a show of hands, just raise your right hand like this? If you are going to buy a Girl Scout box of Girl Scout cookies today, come on, everybody, just pledge and you will buy some Girl Scout cookies. They're just $4. Now let's do it in unison. Just all of us.
Misha!
Come on, people.
Misha!
Okay, so if you want to be a part of that, you can come up here while we're doing the panel and see. Look, there's a woman on the Vanguard with $4, and she has a little card swiper too if you're hamstrung by currency. Okay, now we're going to carry on the rest of the panel as if this is not happening. But holy shit! I told you, I don't know why you brought so few boxes of cookies. I am often told I'm the white Chris Rock. So yeah, anyway, mistakes were made. Yes, I'll buy you lots. Yeah. Sorry, I just promised somebody I'd buy them a box. And then not another word will be spoken about cookies. What kind do you want?
Oh, what kind?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's buying some.
Whoa! Okay, that's enough of that. There you go. Okay. Was this a good idea? No. Hey, can you guys crouch down in the front because it's or actually, you know what is another alternative? If you want to stand up, that's fine. Just give the people immediately behind you $1,000 because that's what they paid for the seats. Is that fair? That seems fair. Okay. Hi.
So I was wondering, speaking of someone who was just in their first play ever last weekend.
Wait, someone who was in there for. Come closer to the microphone. It's not poisonous.
Oh, sorry. So I was wondering, speaking of someone who was just in their first play ever last weekend.
Oh my God! Congratulations. How did it go?
I think it went pretty well.
Did you break a leg?
No, I came out unscathed. So.
That's good. You know, they never use that expression in the past tense.
True.
Yeah, they always say break a leg in the future, but they never retroactively talk about whether someone was injured or not.
It's better. Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that more or something else?
No, I was going to ask you, what was your first experience ever acting, and when did you know that you were going to make it as an actor?
I actually knew I was going to make it as an actor, not to be too full of myself, from my very first performance. It was kindergarten, and it was a stage performance of Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet eating her curds and rye. Along came a spider and sat down beside her and scared Miss Muffet away. I don't remember how it ends. Anyway, I don't even remember. I think I played the spider, but I might have been the tuffet? Something? I don't know. No, so I was the spider, and I was really good.
When did it start out?
And people, you know, I got a lot of people coming up to me afterwards like, you should really pursue this. Because I was apparently really scared. What were you? What was your thing?
I was in a play that was a parody of Romeo and Juliet called Romeo and Winifred, and I was Lady Montague, so Romeo's mom.
Oh, nice. Was it? Did you get a lot of laughs?
I was not a particularly funny character, but the play in general did.
Okay, that's good. All right. Well, congratulations. I know that you're going to make it as an actor. Yeah. Congratulations on your burgeoning career and your unbroken legs. I don't know why you guys are so unorganized about this. I love that everybody's like sort of like waddling along on their knees. Did you expect this to and bowing? Yeah. We were not going to speak about this anymore. This was going to be a seamless aspect of the panel. Per my promise to my friends here. Hi.
Hi. My cousin Megan, who is over in the audience over in row C, and I recently completed Gishwez in August. It was our first time. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. How did it go?
It was fun. It was really awesome.
That is amazing how much meaning can be conveyed in the intonation of a single word. You said, it was fun! And there's something about that says, it was kind of awful. Like,
The sugar cube melting was the bane of my existence.
okay, so now we're
A
getting
lot
to
of
the
glue
truth.
that hindered the process.
Oh, you put glue that then made
Yeah.
nothing melt?
Yeah.
Sugar
no.
cubes don't melt as easily as you think they melt.
No, and so
I learned that
I
on this.
started with pot.
With
and-
pot?
With pop.
Okay.
Soda. I'm in America.
So soda, but the problem with soda, intuitively, I think that's a poor choice because it's already got so much dissolved sugar in it that it's not going to be bound, it's not going to be sucking the sugar into dissolved form
It
in the
didn't.
liquid. Yeah, so I
No,
would have
so
told you.
then I
You should have
poured-
called me. I would have told you to do pot.
I was actually a little more mad at Felicia Day because that was her item.
Yes, shame on her.
So then I switched to the water hose
Yep,
and I sprayed sugar and my mother,
good.
who was filming.
Yep,
So side note, that sucked.
yep.
But we met a lot of really great people, and I'm still friends with them to today. Today.
So you're friends with 2 of them today. The other ones, the 11 other people, you kind of hate. 12 of them.
Well, actually, 3 of them flaked on us, so I'm not happy with necessarily all of them.
What? Wow, that sickens me.
We were not pleased.
Did they not do any items?
They just did not communicate at all. We had no idea what happened to them.
That burns me up.
Yeah.
So you're piping in. Are you Megan?
Yes.
So they didn't tell you until the last day of the hunt that they weren't going to participate?
Yeah.
At that point, you could have been like, tell me something I don't know, motherfucker.
I'm a lot nicer to people I don't know, though, so I was kind of internally angry.
Oh, okay. So you are, in general, nicer to people that you don't know
Yes.
than to people that you do know?
Yes.
Huh. Good to know. Anybody who's maybe thinking about acquiring a new friend, maybe she's not your man. She tends to be mean to people she knows.
After we get past the initial greeting process.
Okay, so great. Let me know when we have crossed that threshold, and then we'll terminate this conversation.
So my question, which I was not at all prepared for because it was a lottery and I thought it was a long shot.
Yep, it was.
It was. Having done Gishwas as much as you have, what was your absolute best accomplishment with it, and what was the most horrible thing that ever happened with it?
Okay, guys, we gotta do a different thing here with the line. We gotta not clear the aisles because of fire marshal issues.
Everybody going in front of the stage.
So we can move this operation somewhere else and carry on with it, maybe at the back of the room or something. Does that work? You think, Gary? A different hotel. That's an excellent suggestion. We're just gonna have to move these. It looks like just side walls are fine, guys. Just not the middle. Sorry. I told you this was a bad idea. I don't know why they Gary. I don't know why they made me do this because I said I don't want to do it. They made me. Come on, guys. I mean, really. So we were still having a conversation, and you had a question.
Yes.
Yes.
So having done Gishwas for as long as you've been doing it, what is the best thing that you've
That's right. You already asked your question, and I ignored it. Best accomplishment, obviously, was so we had an item 3 years ago, sometime in the past, and. So we had an item which was to communicate with an astronaut over Twitter or Facebook or something like that, with an astronaut who's on the space station Mir, and then NASA posted on their Twitter feed, "Stop bothering our astronauts. They have real science to do, and you're clogging up their feeds." And so the next year, I wrote an item that was, last year NASA told us to stop bothering our astronauts because they have real science to do. We know that they've been kicking themselves all year for that rash statement, so we're giving them another chance. And we had an item which was get Gishwas written in space, and ultimately NASA ended up naming a mountain on Mars Gishwas, which was so cool. There have been a few moments since I, started to get, on a big TV show and people started recognizing me and getting a little bit famous, that have been amazing. One was when William Shatner started being a pain in my ass online.
Is Shatner become a thing?
William Shatner. He sharted. So when I open up Twitter, I'm like, that's how I talk at home. Yeah. My kids are 3 and 5, and they can't speak a single word yet because this is the language of the home. So William Shatner, that was really exciting, and then another really what topped that was this whole Gish was on Mars thing for me. I was just like, I could die happy right now. I have definitely, as of this moment, accomplished way more than I ever thought I would in life. This was amazing. And then subsequently, we got to go on tours of Jet Propulsion Laboratories with some big shots at NASA, and they become friends, and it's so awesome. So that's a really unexpected boom from Gishwitz that's been so exciting. But I just love running that thing, and I keep hearing people, tell me stories about how they made them best friends, or people come up to me and say, I married somebody who was on my Gishwitz team, or things like that. Oh, that is amazing. Hopefully it lasts for at least a couple of years. That's what I said. No, I don't say that. But it's one of those things I have found in my life. I have found that when there's something that I really love doing, that I get really excited about, and that doesn't feel like a chore, then that thing does really well, generally speaking. Like in one way or another, but it ends up paying off in some way. And I think Gishwitz is a really great example of that. Like the minute I ran this mini scavenger hunt 7 years ago online, and I got these submissions back, and it was just kind of magical, and it was totally moving, and I couldn't believe that people were jumping in the sandbox with me, and so I kept doing it, and I still feel that way about it. I just get so excited every year, coming up with some of the weird shit that we're going to do, and the strange, satirical promotions that we're going to do. I love it, and people seem to be enjoying it, and more and more people keep doing it. So I want to keep doing it. And if you haven't done it yet, you should, because it's really fun. Oh, and this is Seattle, where 2 years ago we broke 3 Guinness World Records in one day. And it was like such an unmitigated triumph. I mean, only 7 people were taken away in ambulances that day. 7. Sorry. Those of you, this may be the only time I'm ever going to be able to say this, so I'm going to just do it. Those of you who were taken away in an ambulance at my event, I'm sorry, because I know that there's more than one of you in this audience right now. But everybody, I checked in on everybody, and as of a couple days later, they were all still alive. So. Hi.
Thank you. I'm super nervous. I am going to tell you something because I think most of the fandom feels this way. We love you a whole hell of a lot, and we are so grateful for everything you have done for us and for this fandom, and you need to know how much we love you. So.
Thank you, that was very kind. And for those of you who hate me, I'm sorry that your voices are getting drowned out at the moment.
People that hate you. Because more of us love you than a handful of people that hate you.
Well, thank you for saying that. I haven't done a poll, but thank you. We don't have any real hard data on that, but thank you for saying so. I like, by the way, your cock hat that you're wearing.
I do have a question.
What is it?
I have a 7-year-old who yeah, he likes to sing about poop and stuff like that, but sometimes people just say the most profound thing. Like, kids ever do that to you?
No. No, they do not.
Not even West. West seems profound.
I think profane might be the word we're searching for. I was raised in a household that was very irreverent, which brought with it many benefits. And, you know, not following the rules was kind of the right thing to do, typically. I was going to I would visit my dad. So that's my mom that I'm speaking of. I would go visit my dad, and his wife was trying to instill some sort of civility in my brother and I, and was trying to get us to hold our utensils properly and like learn a little bit of sort of manners and things like that, which were completely alien to us. And so I conveyed this to my mother. I think I was probably 8 or something at the time. And she said, oh, well, I can teach you manners. The proper way to eat is to hold your plate with your left hand and use the forefingers on your right hand. Shovel the food into your mouth. So that's what I did the next time that I went to visit my stepmother. She thought it was great. But it's interesting when you have kids of your own, you kind of realize that you parent differently. But one of the things that for some reason, I kind of realized, even though I say things that I use profanity sometimes. I can't believe I'm saying this. That's true. And I never think about the fact that there are always a couple of children in the audience who are being polluted by what I'm saying, and also probably a handful of good people, too, 2 or 3 in the audience. And so my mom came to visit, and after she left, the lid, there was a crack in the lid on the blender, and we've been pretty kind of vigilant about, not swearing around the kids when we can help it. And Wes was like, blender lid is something, it's all fucked up. And later that day, I was like, Eamon and Ian had to cancel. They're not going to be able to come over to play. And he said, that's shitty. And it went on, like there was just a litany of different swears that came out of him over the course of the next 12 hours. So many that I realized there's no way she didn't sit down with flashcards and like, drill these into him. Hi.
Hi. I love you so well.
Goodness, this feels a little soon because I'm just meeting you for the first time. I'm ready to jump in, so what the hell, let's throw caution to the wind. What's your name though first?
Nina.
Hi Nina.
Hi.
Love you too.
So my question was, as Misha, who would you be like the most feared monster to come up against, like you now, like in the show, like who would you be most scared to like go up against?
Okay, so I realize that we have a very deep relationship, but sometimes I feel like I can't understand you at all.
Okay.
So what the hell are you talking about?
Okay, so in the show there's all these monsters and demons and whatever, and so you...
I vaguely have a sense of what you're talking about.
So you as Misha,
yes.
Who would you be most terrified to like confront in like...
Oh, got it. Well, okay, so, and I don't know if you realize this or not, but you're talking about Supernatural.
Yes.
Alright, spoiler alert. Seriously, anybody who doesn't want to be spoiled. It's a work of fiction.
Yeah, obviously.
So, Those monsters are not real.
Yeah, but if they
And
were.
as Misha, I know that. So I'm not really scared of them per se. If they were real, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not talking about Misha as portrayed on the show, just to clarify.
Yes.
You are?
No.
I almost feel like we need to see a counselor. Is anyone here a couples therapist? You are? You can be. You have a degree? You're getting a degree, but you haven't gone through your practicum or whatever, right? No, I want somebody who's got some on-the-ground work for this problem. You have, well, I know you have a degree in psychology. Who's actually raising their hand as a couples therapist? Hi, what would you suggest we do in this situation? Our communication skills are not up to snuff, but we love each other. What do we do? Talk it out? Wait, how long did you have to go to school to... 4 years? Holy shit. Okay, so wait, so hug it out. Hey, so hug it out, talk it out. I feel like there's some armchair psychologists here. Okay. That's it? Those are your tips? What's that?
I'm choosing to be an actress instead of a therapist.
Oh, you're getting out of the business.
I don't know why, my client list totally dried up. I told them to hug and talk, and I went outside and smoked a cigarette. Came back in and they said they didn't want to do any more sessions. Okay, well, I do feel like we're getting somewhere though. All right, let's try her therapy. I would be very afraid. What are you afraid of? That's what I always do when I can't think of
the
an
monsters,
answer.
like in the show.
Yeah.
Um,
It's your question! I feel, yeah, it's maybe this is much more physical than anything between us.
Probably the Leviathans.
Oh yeah, because they're so, like, business-like? Okay, that's good. I mean, the imaginary friend thing is also, that could be pretty scary, I think.
Yeah, that would be.
My daughter has 3 imaginary friends. Can't remember their names. One, no, that's so terrible, isn't it? She's very close with them too. Bobby is one of them. And Bobby, I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. Bobby is her imaginary friend. This ties in so well, it's almost scripted. So, Bobby is Mason's imaginary friend, and she said, "Dad, Bobby said a bad word." Really? Well, that is not very good, is it? She said, no. Bobby said, fuck. So I choked her and I killed her. Yes, your question, madam.
Hi. So you've been playing Lucifer this season. And you've been doing a really good job.
Why, thank you very much.
Yes. But I was wondering if there was anything that you found surprising or difficult having to play a different role, either that we've already seen or that we haven't seen yet.
Well, it's been for me a lot of fun, and it's been kind of liberating. I mean, I love Castiel, but I also I've been doing that for so long now. Never in a million years did I think that I would play a role for nigh a decade. And so to get to do a long arc for somebody completely different has been really a lot of fun. And also the particular character as Pellegrino staked him out is so cool. Like, it's actually really fun to try to do a semblance of what he did, because it's just really free and fun. And it kind of, there's something very controlled and staid and, you know, emotionally dead and really super depressing about Castiel. But he's just like all over the place and really kind of chewing up the scenery. And so playing Lucifer, you just get to kind of, or I have been following impulses and not, you know, if you're having a good moment of it, or just something comes up and you get to do it, and it's kind of fun, like petting Mark Shepard like the dog that he is. We shot a scene. I know. He's not really a dog. I was just kidding. No, I agree. He is kind of a dog. You don't have to leave. You can stay. We like little voices. Hi, cutie pie. I don't remember what I was saying. Mark Shepard. So, we had a scene with, where my first scene as Lucifer, and I was breaking Ruth's neck. And we did like a little, we did a couple takes, and I was just doing something a little bit different every time. And on one take, I just went in, like when I was sort of about to break her neck, I just went in and like bit her ear in like kind of way. And it was just a very extemporaneous moment where I didn't plan it. You know, she certainly didn't plan it based on the sound that she made when I did it. Ruth, I'm sorry that I just revealed that. She was like, oh. If you can make that sound in a Scottish accent. Anyway, it's been fun, especially that moment with Ruth. Hi.
I was wondering if there was a particular episode or scene that you really enjoyed filming.
Filming?
Yeah.
Nope. It's funny that you asked that, and what comes to mind are like all of the worst days of shooting. So that's where my head goes. And then there was that time that Jared did that to me. I have had a lot of fun this season, though, I can tell you, with a lot of the Lucifer stuff. It's just been cool to play. Yeah, I don't have a good answer for you. Do you have favorite scenes? You know what? I think my favorite scene was when we were on. Go on. When we were on. No, I'm just messing with you. Go ahead. It was the episode French Mistake. When we were on stage, we were on the sound stage. Anyway, what is your scene? It was a scene when I pushed the hairdresser away in that scene. It was all of us on set playing our characters in the parallel universe. Have you seen The French Mistake? You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Do you have a favorite scene?
When you first came back.
There were other scenes that I have to say. Even in The French Mistake, there were other really great scenes from that too. Is it frustrating sometimes? Asking a question? Yeah, a little bit. I've been told I'm not a great listener. Maybe we should get that counselor over here again. Okay, carry on.
When you first.
You're like amazingly resilient. You just keep going. I'm impressed. High five. Most people would be crying by now, so good work. I will break you, though. Yes! She's still going! Round 7.
After you get most of your face back from Metatron and you have the wings and the rest of the shadow of the wings behind you.
You like that scene? I don't know why it took me so long to get that out.
Good talking to you. Hi.
Hi. Promise me you'll never die.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Okay.
So I think I can say we all love cooking fast and fresh with West. My question is, I love seeing you with your kids, I think we all do, but would you ever consider doing like a deluxe episode with Jared and Jensen's kids? You can make like
That's a great idea. Yes. I'd be totally into that. Yes.
But there's contracts.
Just out of curiosity, who do you plan to have clean up afterwards? Because I don't want that on my shoulders. If Jared cleans
If
up
I could come
afterwards...
over to your house, I'd be happy to.
Great. All right, it's a deal. I'll never die, and you're going to be my maid.
Awesome.
Hi. Oh, how many angels do you know, though, honestly? None. Yeah, so it's easy to be your favorite.
Okay, so I know on the show it's, kind of serious, a lot of really, really emotional scenes and whatnot. And I know the guys are also tricksters, and I know you play a lot of pranks. So what I want to know is, in all those pranks, what's the best prank that you've managed to handle with both Jensen and Jared and managed to get them back? I saw the quarter prank online, which was really awesome. But I want to know what's the best prank that so far you've managed to pull off.
Well, the biggest one and the sort of longest term one is that they still think I'm biologically male. And boy, I'm looking forward to the reveal, because that is they're going to be like, oh my God, you totally had us. How do you do the voice thing? And I'm going to be like, I don't know. Just practice, I guess. But that'd be great. There was like a Tootsie moment. Walk down the stairs. I'm going to cut myself off right there and not carry on that riff. I was going places. Maybe Girl Scouts in the audience. Speaking of which, how are sales doing? We only have 6 cases left. Is that true? So how many did we burn through?
Oh.
How many have we sold? Nobody wants. Who likes peanut butter?
Me.
Okay, please crowd the exits. I know that you're not supposed to yell fire in a crowded theater, but you probably now I see also probably not to yell there are Girl Scout cookies for sale because it has the same effect. Okay, we are going to get to the bottom of those cookies though, I think. Oh, I never answered your question seriously, did I? Sucks, doesn't it? Hi.
My internet friend Serenity says hi and that you guys have the same birthday.
What's his name? Her name?
Her name, Serenity.
Serenity.
Yeah.
How old is Serenity?
I'm not sure because internet stuff, but she
Oh,
lives
yeah.
in Michigan.
But you know that her birthday is legit. And that she's a woman. You realize that Serenity is a 65-year-old man who was born 6 months after me, right?
So my question is kind of a darker one.
I feel like you're changing the subject. Is it that you don't want to think of Serenity that way? Yes.
Why are you ruining the internet for me?
That made me feel bad. Santa Claus is legit, though.
My question is sort
My
of...
kids are getting to the bottom of the whole, like, the Santa Claus thing. West is starting to piece it together now. It's like, yeah, I know that I know for sure, there are some fake Santas, and I'm not sure if there are any real Santas. I don't have empirical evidence for that. However, we did meet a homeless guy in line at the coffee shop who claimed to be Santa Claus's brother. And his name was Todd, and he was like, yeah, I'm Santa Claus's brother. And the kids were like, really? And he's like, yeah. He's like, why aren't you up in the North Pole? Wes was like, I
he had met enough fake Santas at that point to know, like, well, you know, BS, man. And he's like, why am I not up at the North Pole? I don't know, I asked my brother, he won't let me come over anymore because I got drunk at Christmas. And he went into this whole, like, riff about how him and Santa had a falling out, and how, like, Santa has been an intractable asshole about the whole thing. And it was so compelling that at the end of it, I was like, God, he actually might be Santa. It was kind of amazing. So I bought him a cup of coffee. What is your question?
My question is, so recently an angel called Cass expendable and said that Sam and Dean were the real heroes. And also in season 8, Cass said to Dean, I'm afraid I might kill myself. Some fans have interpreted this as Cass being depressed and possibly wanting to give up on life. What are your thoughts on that?
I do think that has probably been a sort of subtext at times for Cass. I think we've all seen a lot of moments where he touches those lows in the show. Yeah, I think it typically manifests in him kind of being too eager and willing to sacrifice himself. You know, like letting Lucifer take over his vessel, I think was that level of resignation. Like it's not a sure thing. He's literally making a deal with the devil. These things rarely work out well. And there's a good chance it kills him. And yet he did it kind of on an impulse. And I think that is a sign of, I mean, he's a very lonely person, and he's not a person, which complicates that for him.
Just because he's not real doesn't mean he's not a person.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I'm a party person. Anyway, I think that he is very, I think that he just, you know, he's kind of lost. He's without a home, he's without a people, or an angel in plural. I'm getting really caught in the weeds here with grammar and vocabulary problems. Anyway, yeah, he's kind of sad, he's kind of lonely, and at times he does feel like giving up, and he also hates himself for the mistakes that he's made. I think that he carries a lot of that with him. You know, the whole Leviathan episode he feels kind of bad about. You know, opening the gates of purgatory and nearly destroying the whole world. That whole snafu.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
So my question is, so we know that Cassie was in love with Dean in the show.
Am I in love with Jensen or Jerry? Which one? Which one am I in love with, or which one do I love more? It's a very equitable menage a trois that we have. The love triangle is an isosceles triangle. Is that right? Equilateral. Thank you for saving me there. Yeah, it's equilateral triangle of love. Yes. Thank you. I love that, like, the previous question was, there have been subtle allusions to possibly Cass being a little bit sad at times. Is that, something that you feel is true? She's like, we know for a fact that Sam wants to fuck Dean. It's just a different approach to a question altogether. Hi.
Hi. I have a question. Back in season 5, they had that character Jesse, the one that turned you into action figures.
Yes, the Antichrist.
Yeah, they made it sound like he was going to be really important, but then we never saw him.
No, he's just the Antichrist. He's a minor character. It's just the Antichrist.
I just thought he was going to come back later.
No, it's just the Antichrist.
Okay. Thank you.
This is. I mean, it's kind of a badge of honor for the show. This is the only show for sure ever they could introduce the character of the Antichrist and be kind of like, yeah, but that's a little thing. We're not gonna get big into that. God has a much bigger arc coming up, so we have to sort of focus on that for now. It's crazy. The stuff that we do. The stuff that we do on the show is amazing. Bye. Hi.
Hi. So, I mean this in a non-offensive way.
Oh, what a great way to start a question. Security, brace yourselves.
I'm not trying to call you Satan, but did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
Security? This woman just used the worst pickup line ever on me. Oh man, somebody just gave me a romance novel that was Devil's Angel, which is kind of like fitting for me, right? And you said it was 1 cent?
It was 1 penny on Amazon.
1 cent on Amazon, she paid for it. Now, whoever the bookseller was, should probably look at their business model. How does that work? Like, yeah, we got a sale, honey. Make a stamp, put it on, write the address. 1 penny shows up in their PayPal account later. Amazon account's not PayPal, right? They're not really trying to say that. I should not, I just realized, like, not a great place to be saying bad things about Amazon, is it? Sci-fi actor stoned on stage. Not stoned like Washington State stoned. Every time I have friends, so I'm actually living in Washington now. And I do love this state. It's an amazing place. I have some of my closest friends in LA moved to Washington it was an actress and this builder, and they were kind of like my best friends in LA, and they moved to Washington. And I thought, this was maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago or something, and I thought, it's so sad that they've given up so completely. They went to where all the losers go. That's what I thought. I know, it's really, really sad. And now, I had a friend visiting, and I was driving around town, being like, so over here we have an independent movie theater. There's another independent movie theater over here. Coffee shop on every single corner. In fact, some corners have coffee shops stacked on top of coffee shops. Coffee shops in the bathrooms of other coffee shops. And it's just amazing. And look, see the sun? Yeah, sure, it rains sometimes for a few minutes. Or a few months or whatever. But it's so beautiful and so great. The people are so friendly that you think that they're trying to steal something from you. And I really do love it. I want to try to find a way to stay here forever. And whenever I have friends come visit, they're like, so I understand the pot is legal here. And it's like usually friends that don't really smoke pot because they're people who don't, want to buy illegal things or whatever. And I'm not a pot smoker. I occasionally try to smoke pot, and I usually just get paranoid and don't have a good time. But the friends come visit and they're like, let's go to a dispensary. And it's happened so often now that the dispensary that's near my house, when I go in, they're like, hey bud, how you doing? How you been? You good? You good with the, Reefer Madness cookies we sold you last week? And it makes me feel like, I always like to my friends, no, you don't understand, we had other friends came to visit. Craters in the ground, and it looks pretty violent, right? I mean, you've watched the show, you know what I'm talking about, right? But they didn't really make a meal out of like, fuck, that hurt. Which would have been a great opportunity for them to be like, yeah, when I fell from heaven, it really hurt a lot. Because I more or less sort of just brushed myself off and ran into the woods, Or no, I was just watching the angel fall. I actually didn't fall at that point. What happened? I don't remember. Stand down. Actually, shame on you for asking that question. And thank you. Hi.
Hello, I'm Cassie. I love you.
Hi, Cassie. Has the introduction of my character into the universe been frustrating for you?
No.
Like, do people call you Cass and reference the show all the time?
Actually, yeah, occasionally.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's a compliment. Very much. Yeah. My question is, you get kind of asked obscure questions. What kind of questions do you prefer to be asked these
You know what?
days?
My favorite kind of questions are the questions about the questions. So, I definitely have a strong preference for questions about questions. When I can get it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Quick follow-up question. What kind of questions about questions do you prefer?
Honestly, if there's a sort of nesting doll question about questions, like a question that asks questions about questions, that I can, receive that for me, knocks it out of the park. There's exponential gratification for me when the question about questions is a question about that experience, not the question about questions. You know what I mean?
I hate to question your question about questions, but I gotta say, it calls into question your ability to question yourself when you're talking about questions that lead to other questions.
Well, I think that I speak for myself and the band when I think that your analytical reasoning skills are kind of questionable.
Well, that's kind of the unanswerable question, though, isn't it?
Well, that's a good question.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
I believe you answered our own questions here. Take a question.
You know what? Thanks a lot, Rich. You made me question myself.
You're welcome.
The sad thing about us is that we would keep doing this forever if someone didn't run interference. Guys, everyone has left. The audience is gone now.
It was funny when you started, and now it's just maddening.
We've been getting a lot of questions about refunds. Thanks, guys. Yet we're still pleased with it.
I know. I'm leaving the stage feeling like it was a home run, guys. Hi.
Hi. Me and my friend are practicing our deep Castiel voice.
Yes.
I personally haven't had any progress with it.
Are you kidding me? Your voice is almost spot on. It's almost typecasting. If I could pick randomly anyone out of this audience to do an impersonation of Castiel, it would definitely be you.
Because I wasn't prepared with you last night.
Let me hear your best cast.
It's really bad.
No, I don't believe that.
Okay. Hello, D.
That was super good. Everyone get good. And how long have you been practicing?
Well, we've been practicing for like since December.
Yeah, well, it shows. Really paid off. That was time well spent. Good for you, yeah. What else have you been working on since December? Hopefully something else also. It's not been a full-time practice. Great.
Her beard growth.
You know, not to be a negative Nelly, but it might be nice to hedge your bets a little bit and maybe do work on a few other things on the side.
She's been working on it more than me. My question is, do you have any tips on how to get deeper voice?
How to do it? Try having a lot of testosterone. In my case, being born male was helpful.
Well, you learn something every day, don't you? Every time I think I know everything there is to know about me, I go down this panel and I'm like, boom, new fact. Born as a male.
There's been a theme, by the way, up here. I'm contradicting myself, by the way, by saying that I was born male. So, yes. And then, there was so my character on Supernatural was supposed to be originally, they told me it was going to be a 3-episode arc. And so I thought that Castiel's voice in the first script, it says that Castiel tries to speak when he hasn't taken a human form yet, when he's still an invisible angel. He's trying to speak to Dean, but he doesn't know how to do it. And when he tries to speak, television screens explode and windows break. And so I thought, well, this means that he should have like a really, macho Mark Shepard-esque voice. And so I did that, and then now I've been doing it for 8 years. And
did you think all angels were going to talk like that?
Yes.
And they kind of flipped the script, and then you're stuck with that.
The other thing that was really frustrating about it was like I clearly established that this is how angels talk, and then the next angel that came on the show was like, "Hey guys!" I thought that I made a great personal sacrifice here to establish a very distinct character trait of angels, that they're like, they don't move at all, and they're very, socially awkward, and they have an incredibly deep voice, and everybody's like, "Hey, I'm an angel too!" Thanks a lot, guys. You just made me look like the weird angel. It's totally unfair. So anyway, I, at one point, this is not a joke, and I've never told this before, but at one point, I think that must have been season 6 or something like that, I went to the doctor and I was like, I have a killer fucking sore throat that's not going away. And we figured out it was because of Castiel. Castiel had given me a sore throat. So.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. The back is fair.
I mean, Castiel's not here to defend himself. You know what I mean? So.
And I can speak for the band and myself. We've all had that sore throat at certain.
Rob just talked about getting that sore throat on his 21st birthday. There's a lot of reasons for it. Castiel was at Rob's 21st birthday party, I guess.
That was college.
Sorry for that. So, here we are. Here we are once again. We find ourselves here now. This is the last, yours is the last question.
I know.
Oh, we're dragging it out.
We are. You know
we're
why?
milking it for all it's worth.
Because I kind of feel like all she needs to do a better Castiel is the emotional support of 2,000 people. Which is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I thought she needs a little professional Castiel help. Last question. It's the very last question.
Last question.
There are no more questions. It's the last question. Castiel. It's the last question. Right now.
So, I think that this is true. I think Rich is right. I think that probably what happened there was you were a little bit nervous.
Right.
So now we'll get you in a space where you can be very calm, very collected. You can just focus on what right now amounts to 4 hard months of training. Okay? This is the moment that you built up to, right?
Yeah, and the good thing is you'll be able to review this as an educational tool because it's being filmed by 1,900 people and posted on.
This could ultimately have somewhere in the range of 5 to 10 million views on YouTube. So you can just totally relax into that.
This is your moment.
And just think, hey, just imagine that you're up here by yourself with, the cast of a show that you really love, being watched by what amounts to millions of people.
And I think it's important to know that every job you apply for in the future, when they Google you to understand your background, will find this video and will watch it. And will use this as some sort of metric to decide if you're fit to represent their organization. This is the cornerstone of your tomorrow.
Misha, can you give her a line to say?
This is the defining moment. Well, I think there's really only one line that she could possibly deliver, which is the one that the audience is staring at right here.
All right.
Okay. You haven't practiced this line. She said, I haven't practiced this line. That's okay. Let it all go. All of that training has built up to this moment. This is the defining moment of your life.
But nobody's too fun because
I didn't understand her name, but you wrote me. Let's say it again. There you go. Good one.
That was unbelievable.
Well done. Amazing. And that was the last question.
He's my
I always feel like Billy's ready to go into a ripping solo, and the song ends every time. Oh, Billy. Oh, Billy. Boys?
Yeah.
That's kind of the end of our day. I mean, until you guys would turn into rock stars, put on your rock star gear, and become rock stars, and take over the stage and become Saturday night specialists, is what you are.
Yeah.
So it's been a fond adieu to the wonderful Saturday people. Friday people, Saturday people. It's been an amazing day. And you will see us all on this stage tonight. If you're coming, smart move. If you're not coming, rearrange your plans and be here. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be spectacular. And the band will be signing all kinds of Loud and Swing merchandise after the show. All you got to do is bring it. The signing part is free. You can buy it there or bring it. All right? Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you later.
Thank you, guys.
Misha was so cute. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Oh, you're fine. So, did you need any clarification on anything? Thank you. Anything that Misha said that you guys couldn't, like, hear? Because I noticed, like, some comments, like, during it. But I was wondering if you guys needed to, like, because I can remember what he said. If you need help. Why is he such a fucking dork? Because he's Misha, and Misha is a sweetheart, and totally a dork, and he doesn't care. The girl with the prank question. Hold 1 second.
Rob, Richard, Matt, Ken, and Ruth will be in Oxford. We'll be signing in the back of the room. Then at 7 o'clock we have March starting, and we will be signing the roles and flowers. And Misha will be starting at 7:10. We'll be signing the role in 2 days.
No, he said.
Matt Shepard's solo photo op or the Mark Bush duo. Please go ahead and add to the photo ops now, please.
No, I remember.
You have spare access today. It's only today. We only have an issue.
Yeah, he was that he would reveal himself as not male. To Jared Jensen. He kind of just fucked around with the question. He avoided it basically.
You guys can use all 3 sets. 2 doors are open. Right now, there's doors on the back that are locked.
What was the other question? It was, did he say Cass was dying? No, he said that Cass made the decision to be Lucifer's vessel because it was that, like, desperate attempt to be useful, and that he knew that this could kill him, and he did it anyway. Yeah. Anything else? You said about the Destiel Cockles thing. Okay, so the girl asked, as we all know, Castiel is in love with Dean, who are you in love with, Jared or Jensen? And Misha laughed and then was like, it's like a triangle, it's a menage a trois, that the love was all shared equally, and that it was an equilateral triangle. He said isosceles triangle first, and someone was like, I'm equilateral. He was like, thank you for stopping me from going astray. Then he said, I love how like the question range changed from this like, yeah, Castiel was all depressed and stuff, to Sam wants to fuck Dean, and then he was like, oh shit, Cass wants to fuck Dean. There you go. Anything else? As I listen to music in the ballroom. No problem. What do I have today? Was everything okay in the audience? Yeah, no, everything was fine. Like, they didn't have any problems. The audience here is very, very protective of Misha. No problem. I was like reading people kind of like freaking out. They were like, oh, Dusty Ellis Cannon. I'm like, oh, I would hope. No. What's going on? Autographs are happening later. I'm going to SNS. Autographs with Ruth, Osric, Kim, Mark. No, not Mark. Not yet. Rich and Rob are all in the back, and then Mark's autographs start at 7, and Misha's autographs start at 7:30. And then Misha's autographs will obviously go really long again. Matt's autographs, yes, sorry. Matt's autographs as well in the back. Misha's will probably go until the concert starts. Yes.
With Mark Shepard or a duo with Mark and Ruth, please head up to the photo locker room. Please use the elevator to go to the 3rd floor. We do not have stair access today, so please go to the 3rd floor for the elevator.
Yes, I or Lua will be periscoping SNS.
If you have an autograph, you're in the right place.
Lou will probably be up in this section over there. No, this is my 6th one. So, yeah, you can hear the announcer. That's Stephanie. I'm having a great time. I had my Misha off today. Oh, I gotta go pick up my Misha off. Do that now. Pack up my camera. Anything else you guys want to know? If not, then I will sign off and charge my battery for SNS. Did I buy any cookies? I bought cookies yesterday. And the lady who's selling them is apparently like 70 cents a box go towards random acts. So, awesome. Yeah, I know. Lou and I are in the SNS line together. So, Lou and I are here together. Together, everyone. I didn't have a really creative off this time. I just had something cute. It was cute. Bye guys. No problem. Bye. See you tonight.